Yeah, well, it was the kind of game I very much expected, in all honesty. Their left-hander was crafty as can be. First time through the lineup, he carved us up. Even most of the second time through the lineup, but I thought we hit better than having 6 hits and 2 runs. The kid made a diving catch on Twanny's ball that he smoked with a runner in scoring position. I thought Fiducia crushed one with a runner in scoring position, and then of course Slaughter smoked that one at the end that could have easily been a 2-run single. And then Hal Hughes should have started off the 8th inning with a single, and you like to think if the 9-hole hitter starts off with a base hit that you're going to make something happen. So you got to give their defense a lot of credit to keep it from being more than 2-0. Could have easily been 5 or 6, and we could have easily had 10 hits, and then we'd be feeling pretty good. But I thought the kids made a good adjustment to that kid, and we ultimately started to get to him a little bit. Obviously, Watson's hit was huge, and Duplantis, that's what your veterans do for you. They have to do for you to win. But, I'm not a smart man, but I know if you don't give up any runs, your chances of winning are pretty good. And like I told AD, if you shut him out, the worst you can do is tie, okay? So he, Labus was great. I think the wind helped Labus. It helped both pitchers, but Labus did the job, and then I thought, Gilbert, Bush, and Bain, did it just like we had planned on it. So, good win for us, and time to get ready for the Vols.
What was the thinking with Gilbert?
Yeah, well, that's been the plan since this weekend. AD and I talked about it, and trying to get him back into a role that last year he was very successful in, and I can talk more about it later, but we wanted to get him into the game tonight just to kind of flush what happened, on Friday out of his mind. But he's going to continue to pitch out of the bullpen for us, and so he comes in and throws the ball hard. I thought it was a good contrast to Labus, and they did hit one ball fairly hard against him. Slaughter made a nice play, but overall I thought Gilbert did a really good job.
Coach, you talked about the offense a lot, this past week. It was good to see the guys just kind of have success, just simple approaches at the plate.
I'll tell you, Mike, the first time through the lineup, we didn't really follow the game plan. We knew we had a good changeup, and we knew he didn't throw exceptionally hard. And again, it kind of reminded me of the lefty that they brought in against ULL brought in against us over in New Orleans, and we didn't make an adjustment. And the first 3 innings, the guy went through us pretty easily, struck out a lot of batters. We were swinging and missing at his changeup, and I thought the more that we saw him, the more we started to recognize the pitches, and guys made a pretty good adjustment. He left a curveball up to Watson, and Watson didn't miss it, and he got that base hit to put us on the board. I thought Watson really played a great game. A couple stolen bases were huge, and it didn't end up paying off for us at one time. The second one did, because he got in scoring position for 20. The first time it didn't. But I just think, Mike, that the thing was we made an adjustment, and fortunately our pitchers were holding them down, so our hitters didn't have to press. It wasn't like we were trying to fight from behind. It's so important not to have to fall behind when you're facing a pitcher like that. I think the hitters have a tendency to start to press when they're behind, and by keeping it a 0-0 game, the hitters stayed loose and ultimately made a good adjustment.
Do you like short baseball games?
Love those short baseball games, yes. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that refreshing? I like them when we win, especially. We've had another short one, but we didn't win the game, and I didn't enjoy it too much that day. But this one was a lot of fun. Get the people home early. It's a work night.
What was the idea behind pulling Labus after I think he's only at 63 pitches? Is just to get Caleb work?
Yeah, well, we needed to get all 3 of those guys into the game out of the bullpen. Yeah, we could have stayed with Labus, and he probably would have done a nice job. But, there were a couple other guys that I had intended on pitching, Sanders and Todd Peterson, but I just couldn't take Labus out in a 0-0 game when he was pitching as well as he was until, we got to the late innings. And then I know his pitch count wasn't high, so don't start calling me Kapler, okay? It was by design to make sure that we got those 3 relief pitchers into the game. I wanted Gilbert, he had to pitch tonight, and I didn't want him to pitch any later than the 7th inning, so it really worked out perfect there. And then Nick Bush didn't pitch all weekend, because he had the sore arm the first night and the opportunity didn't present it. So we needed to get him back out there. And then, of course, we need to get Bain back out there as we get ready. Now, we've got 2 days off before the Friday game, so that's kind of nice, too. So I think it worked out perfectly, really. I mean, like I said, the plan was to get Sanders and Todd Peterson out there, but it wasn't necessary because AJ was pitching so well.